Is your addiction to toxic relationships sabotaging your chance at buying a home? Yep, that's what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm going to be telling you some stories. I'm going to tell you what my theory is, and then feel free to chime in with the comments about what you think is happening. This is something that I see more of than I would like. So if you're new to the channel, I'm a mortgage lender licensed in 48 states. I would love to be your lender. I'm happy to help you out everywhere but Utah and Rhode Island. And my phone number, in case you're watching this on the big screen, I'm so sorry if you are, is 707-478-0637. Okay, so I talk to buyers every single day. My team talks to buyers every single day. That's what we do, right? You know, we close hundreds of loans every year. We qualify people, whether they're looking to buy a house a month from now, 10 years from now. We're helping people plan. We also do a lot of the calls when people are in trouble or they're going through something that's not beneficial to them. And once in a while, and look, a lot of times people call me, maybe they sent a loan estimate, and I was like, oh, you're getting ripped off. And they're like, save me, let's go, right? And we go. And sometimes I'll be like, hey, you are getting screwed, and this person's deceiving you. And I'll hear, well, they're gonna do this now. And I'm just like, what? What, right? And I'll get some of the real estate stories where it's like, you know, they're like, yeah, you know, the real estate agent, I was in contract and I found out I had a broken foundation, and the real estate agent was telling me I should still buy it because it's a good deal and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you dumped them, right? Well, what? What? What is going on here? What is going on? You know, and I'm very much, I don't like drama. I hate drama. I cannot stand drama. I want to figure out the problem. I want to find the solution, and I want everyone to end up happy, right? I want happy endings. I don't like messy nonsense, and that's what a lot of this is. And what I think is going on is I think that sometimes people are addicted, because you hear about this in relationships, right? You hear about relationships where it's just those huge high highs, low lows, trying not to sneeze, allergies, high highs, low lows, you know, they're addicted to the drama. They're addicted to the intrigue. They're addicted to all those chemicals that happen in your body when there's stress and anxiety and, you know, happiness and sadness. Okay. So let's just do a little check here all together real quick. When you, if you're thinking of being a home buyer, when you think about your real estate agent, how do you feel? Like, do you feel anxious? Okay. Do you feel happy? Do you feel confident? Do you feel like they're an expert? Do you feel like they're an idiot, right? Write it down. Write down how you feel about your real estate agent. Do the same thing with your lender, even if it's me. That would actually be, that could crush me, guys. That could crush me. But, you know, do it, right? Because I think what happens in these toxic situations is you get so enmeshed in the drama. Well, you know, and I'll tell you this lender story in a minute because it's ridiculous. You get so enmeshed in it that it's hard to distance yourself. And the best way to always take yourself out of a situation and get perspective that will help you is writing down stuff. So you're gonna write, okay, this real estate agent, how do I feel about them? You know, what do I think their level of competence is? Am I confident that they're gonna get me in a house? Do I feel like they're working for me, or do I feel like I'm working for them? You know, do I feel like they have my best interest in heart? Really write it out, whether it's a list, maybe it's a paragraph about your feelings about them. Same thing with lender, okay? And then look at it. And if you read that paragraph and you go, oh my gosh, if this was a relationship, this would be terrible. You gotta dump them. It's that simple. You gotta dump them, right? Because that's not healthy. It's not healthy. It's like being in an abusive relationship, whether it's a domestic relationship or a business relationship. You are not going to get to the finish line in one piece if you're dealing with these abusive situations. You know, the lender story I want to tell you about is a really nice buyer, and, you know, first-time home buyer, trying to compare lenders, right? My videos talk about that a lot. And one of the lenders that was recommended to him, you know, was pitching a product where the buyer would put down 5%, and then the lender said, well, I'm going to give you $15,000 towards closing costs. And I'm like, that doesn't feel right. See if you can get a loan estimate. And the buyer sends the loan estimates over to me, and there's a first loan, and there's a lot of lender fees in there, guys. There's like $11,000 in lender fees. But then there's a second loan, and the second loan, it's for $15,000. It's at 0% interest, but it's a balloon loan. A balloon loan means that you would have to pay that back if you refinanced or if you purchased, or if you sold the house, right? It can make refinancing really hard because your equity position is reduced, right? So I said to the client, hey, did you know this $15,000 is a balloon loan? What? Yeah, like it literally says balloon loan. No, I had no idea. They said it would just help with closing costs. Yeah, so I had to explain the terms of the balloon loan, everything else. I sent over a description of the program because it was a different lender, it was their program. I sent over all the information the client needed to know because the lender was lying to him. It was that simple. He was telling him that it was free money. It's not free money. It's not. It's a loan. It's a loan. And if you actually looked at the fees the lender was charging to do the first loan, right, not this silent second headache, the fees were high. The rates were high. So of course he's using some BS program to bait the buyer by pretending it's free money, hoping the buyer's not savvy enough to understand what it is. And in fairness, most buyers aren't going to know what a balloon loan is. They're not going to understand how it affects their ability to refinance, and they're not going to understand how it affects them when they sell. Okay, so I bring all of this to his attention, and I'm like, dude, you got to dump this guy. Like, what is going on? Why am I competing with like a criminal? Like, can you, like, if I'm going to compete, like, put me against some good people. Like, don't put me against like people who are lying to you. Like, that's wild. And he's like, well, he has another scenario he's going to do for me. What? And look, it took a couple days for them to break up because it was this cycle of more and more, well, he said he's going to do this. Well, here's the thing. Someone lies to you up front, they're going to lie to you the whole time. Someone tries to push you in a house you shouldn't buy, guess what? They're going to do it again. So you need to write down what's going on and emotionally distance yourself and look at it as if it's not you and go, if this was my daughter, if this was my son, if this was my best friend, and they gave this to me and said, should I work with this person, what would I do? And if your answer is get rid of them, please get rid of them, okay? And one last note, because sometimes, people will be going through these relationships with a lender or a real estate agent. They'll reach out to me. I'll be like, you've got to do this. You got to do this. Do this, this, this. I give the steps, right? Here's what we can do. Let's put this together. And sometimes they just don't leave. And I'm getting all these text messages for like a month of like all the other horrible stuff they're doing. And I'm like, hey, like I already told you I could solve this a month ago. Like I don't want to be in this menage a trois of drama. No, thank you. Okay? So here's the thing. Make sure you don't get in these situations. If you're in these situations, emotionally distance and get out. And if you decide, if you're like, I like the drama, please, at some point I stop responding because I don't want to be a part of some lender or real estate agent taking advantage of someone. So really be aware if you have questions or if you're like, I feel like this is happening to me. You know what? Call me. Read your notes about how you feel about the thing. Send it into the team. The team will weigh in. We'll tell you if your feelings are good or bad. That sounds terrible. I'm not trying to gaslight you guys, but we'll tell you, because sometimes people will say like, oh, the real estate agent didn't respond. And I'm like, well, wait a second. When did you reach out? 9 o'clock at night. Okay, well, they're not going to respond at 9 o'clock at night. That's not realistic, right? So I'm always happy to say if someone's expectations are realistic or not, given what I know about the industry. But sometimes you just need a third opinion to look at what's going on and be like, run. But then you also have to be able to recognize within yourself, you might be addicted to the drama, and it's time to cut that cord. Thanks for watching. A weird video, I know, but it happens a lot.